In case you're just tuning in, this is the 11th annual Over 50 Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We have one more amazing presentation at our virtual charity conference, Benefiting the Inn. In case you didn't hear, we are so pleased that we were just voted Best of the North Shore, Best Annual Event or Festival 2020 by Blank Slate Media. Thank you for your support and your votes. I will be posting once again in the chat the donation link. We would very much appreciate those of you who have not made a donation yet, if you might consider doing so, as this event is a fundraiser to benefit them. And now our final speaker of the day, Robert Kratzke of BESTech Training Solutions, will be presenting, I didn't know you could do that, Microsoft Office 365 tips and tricks. Let me preface with the fact that Robert helped me greatly in some of the finer points of Zoom, and it was really appreciated. So smart guy. Here's his intro. Here's his bio. Robert Kratzke, president of BESTech Education, has been involved in technology education for over 20 years. He is a Microsoft certified 365 master trainer and led his company. He was twice named Microsoft Worldwide Learning Partner of the Year. Robert is a Microsoft business productivity specialist, helping companies and individuals take advantage of all the powerful new tools in Office 365. I will put Robert's contact information into the chat. Thank you for being here, Robert Kratzke.
All right. Thanks very much, Barbara. Thank you for the introduction. So again, my name is Robert. I'm president of BESTech Education. And I've been a Microsoft partner and focused around things with Microsoft for, as Barbara said, past 20 years. And I'm also the president of the Microsoft Partner Association on Long Island. Very connected in with the business world and businesses and how people are now utilizing Microsoft Office, especially with what's happened with the pandemic and so many people working from home. So let me share my screen here. So Microsoft Office has been a lot of changes in the very recent, couple of years, and three things have really accelerated this past year, as I said. So we're going to talk about what is Microsoft Office, and if many of you probably have moved over to what's called Office 365, maybe not by choice, but it's been pushed that way, right? As things have been changing, it's been changing, and Microsoft's been pushing this to people to move to this Office 365. So you pay a little annual fee and you get all your Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. And just for your information, there was a recent name change. So Office 365 is now called Microsoft 365. It's just the naming, kind of thing they changed because it's now this 365 is more than just Office. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you again, what Office 365 really encompasses, right? It's leveraging the cloud, which some you may or may not know. Cloud is just about your data is being stored somewhere else, right? Instead of it being on your local computer or in your business being in the server room down the hall, it's in a different room, which is not in your building. It's actually out in the cloud. It's out somewhere in the Microsoft world, in their rooms, in their servers that are located all over the country. So they store it there and they back up your data, they manage your data. So that's what the cloud is. It's just that instead of it being stored in your room or in your computer, it's stored on Microsoft's computers. Same as if anybody's used Google Drive, it's the same, same thing basically, right? You're saving your things on a different place. Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, these are all different cloud tools of just, again, it's just where your documents and stuff get stored, okay? Also going to talk a little bit about some new communication tools. I have a new thing called Teams, which kind of encompasses instant messaging and sharing documents and collaborating on things and sending messages. And we'll take a little look at that. Okay. And the whole idea of this stuff being connected to the web is that it's anytime, anywhere, any place, and even any device, right? So if in the past, if your computer stopped working, I'm sure it's happened to many of us at times, right? The computer hard drive just goes and our computer doesn't work, right? So now if that happens, anything that's on your computer is lost, right? You can't get to any of your information, right? Hopefully you might have backed it up somewhere, but you have to go find that backup now or try to fix things. When you have it now stored in Microsoft 365, your computer breaks, you go get a new computer, you turn it on, and all your stuff is there. So you're going to see how this works. And again, you can also, again, log in with your phone, log in with somebody else's computer, and you can get to anything and everything that you own. Okay. And then finally, we're going to look at, again, we're going to look at some of the new tools. Okay. Because Microsoft Office, it's not just Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. There are all these new tools to help you communicate, collaborate, work better, faster, and more efficiently. So I'm going to give a quick overview of these things. Again, we only have an hour. So I think the key takeaway, what you want to think about as you're going through, is not about how to do everything, because we're going to go through some things pretty quickly, but that you can do it, right? Because if you know you can do it, it's very easy to search it. Go to Google, search it, and you can find out how to do everything very quickly if you know what you're asking for, if you know it can even do that. Okay, so again, the key thing is learning and knowing what it is and what it can do, what are your capabilities, and then it's easy to figure out what you need. Out of the billion things it does, you only need one or two things, right? It's finding out what you need to do your job or to do your personal, kind of business that you need. All right. Okay. So like I said, it's not just email, lots of other things. It's not just Word and Excel. So this is a quick look at what are all the tools that are in Microsoft Office. Okay. And you'll notice all the things that you know about, right? Word, you'll see Word, Excel, PowerPoint are all there. But you'll see some new things. Teams is something we're going to look at. That's a new collaboration thing, right? There's collaborating video. Teams is also video, just like Zoom. It has a portion of Teams is a Zoom competitor, right? But it's tied into the whole platform. We'll show you how it's different, what the value part of using Teams for meetings is compared to just having a Zoom webinar. Okay. Other things there. Stream, we'll see. Stream is the video capabilities, kind of like the internal YouTube. And then Power Automate. This is a tool to automate things. We'll take a look at how to automate things. And we have Forms also, which is Forms on here. Yeah, Forms fit on here as well. A lot of different things. Forms, if anybody's used SurveyMonkey, similar kind of thing. So you can create a form to collect information, and you're going to see how we can actually take this and do much more with it. So we'll get to that. So let me jump out of here and let's open up Microsoft Office. And again, if you notice here on the bottom of my screen, you can see my icons for Word and Excel and PowerPoint. I have them all stored here on my computer, right? So they're all logged in. But you can also access everything on the web now as well, when you have the subscription to Office 365 or Microsoft 365. So I'm going to go on to open up Chrome. And let me open up a new page. It's thinking, okay. All right. So I'm going to go to office.com and log in to Office. Oh, change back to Google tab. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to log into office.com. All right. Now, since I was logged in before, it remembers me. So I don't have to continually log into my computer, right? It's going to remember you. There are ways to put settings that will force you to log in each time. But typically, again, it will remember you unless you don't want it to, right? There's ways to do that. If you're worried about protection, you don't want somebody to get into your computer, you can have it time out and things like that. But generally, again, it's going to remember you as you open up once you're logged into your network. So if you look along the side here, you see all the little icons: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all your different apps are down here. And if I click down to the bottom to all apps, these are all the applications. So these are some of the things we saw on the other page, right? So you can jump right to all these applications. And again, Doesn't matter if I have these on my computer or not, okay? These are all connected on the web. So again, you can go on any computer, anywhere, and you can get all your things on your iPad or on your phone. And again, there's specific apps on the phone also as well for this. So, all right, so these are your different applications, and all these things, again, you can access from here. Let's just click on maybe Word real quick, and we'll just show how. Okay, so clicks here in Word, and you see it opens up to the page. Do you want to create a new document here? Or they have some templates here, some things that you could use here. You click a button, more templates, and that can give you more choices of things that you can do with a new document, right? They give you some, you can get a head start with a template. That's a pre-made document. Like you see, it says status report there. As I go down, you see recommended. These are all documents that either me, or if I'm in a company, people on my team have recently worked on, right? So you can see what other people are doing or what you've recently done. I scroll down a little further, here's all my recent documents, okay? So these are things I was working on 3 hours ago, August 17th, August 14th. So things that you recently worked on are gonna show up when you log in, because typically we work on the things we were working on yesterday, right? We're working on the same things over and over. So it makes it easy for you to find and get to these documents, okay? All right. So let's just create a blank document. Internet's a little slow, so just we'll click over for a second. I'm going to click onto Word now. Sorry, we are moving a little slow here with the internet, logging in the page. Yeah. All right, sorry about that. Open up on the other screen. That's what I was waiting for. Okay, so this is the desktop version of Word. Right, I have all my icons and stuff here as well. And all right, sorry, the internet is slow today. It's not logging in, but this would open up. You start to see the Word document here, right? You see the outline of the document, and the ribbon was going to show up right here on the top of this. It's running a little slower because of my internet's been having a little issues, and with the Zoom running at the same time, it's running a little bit slower during it. So I apologize. But you'll see the same ribbon is here for the documents. Okay, so all of it is right there. And again, if I go to File and Open, I can get to all of my files. All of my files are going to show up here because, again, I'm on the cloud, I'm connected, and everything is there. So even if I don't have it on my direct computer, I'm going to be able to access it through the cloud. It's where it's saved and backed up. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is my computer, my File Explorer that I pulled up, and I'm going to show you how things are saved and synced between your computer and between the Microsoft Cloud, the OneDrive is what they call. OneDrive is the Microsoft version, just like Google Drive or Dropbox or Box. OneDrive is the Microsoft Cloud Drive. Okay. So I'm sure most of us are familiar with saving documents, right, and going through our list, finding things here. So these are all the things that are on my computer. But if you, as I scroll down, you'll see here OneDrive. Okay, so I have OneDrive, and these are all my folders and all my things that are saved on OneDrive. Okay, these are also saved on my computer. Right. Okay, and they are either saved on your computer, or they can be saved just on the cloud, but you have a link to it. So I'll open up one of these folders here. So in this folder for Flow Solutions, I have all these documents. And if you see the status is a cloud, this means that it's stored on the cloud. It's not actually stored on my computer. So if you think about if you have a computer that's running a little slow because you've got 10 gigs of pictures saved on your computer, okay? That could be slowing you down. So you could save all those to the cloud only. And the way you do it is you right-click on any document or file or even the whole folder, right-click on it, and then view online. If I click on view online, it's going to make it a cloud-only document, okay? Or if I put always keep on this device, you're going to see it just change to a green check mark. So this is actually saved on my computer and it's saved up in the cloud, okay? So it's saved in both. And now whether I open it from the cloud or whether I open it from my computer, every change I make is going to work and change in both places right at the same time. It's always going to stay up to pace, right? So I had this saved on my computer here. If I take my laptop, I go on a plane, maybe one day, right? Is it planes working again? But if you go traveling, right, you can be on a plane, not connected to the internet, make edits to your document, and when you get back and connect to the internet, it's automatically going to make all your changes for you in real time. Okay, so again, this is saved here on my computer. And if I go up here, I'm back on the internet, right? This is the internet version of Word. Every application on the internet, you have these little dots in the corner. That's how you get to all of your applications. Okay, so I could flip over to OneDrive. That's where all the drives are. And if you notice here, Flow Solutions, Sugar, Info, Tech, BESTech, these are all the same files. That I had here under my GlobeNet OneDrive. These are all the same things that happened. Okay, if I make any change to any of these, it's automatically going to change over here as well. Okay, so you can get to things from any place, right? All your online documents, you can actually get right from your computer, from where it's saved without having to go online to get it. Like I said, even if it's a cloud here, again, the document's not actually here, but it just means you have to it has to grab it from the internet. It has the connection, it knows where it is, and you're just opening it up from there instead of opening it up from just on your computer. Okay. All right. Just looking to see if there's any questions or anything came through. All right. So, all right. So this is the OneDrive, the storage, where it is. Right. So you have all of these documents, everything connected. To it. Okay. The way you sync things up, if you didn't have it synced already the first time, when you go online to OneDrive, you click on sync, and that will automatically put this folder here with OneDrive. So if it wasn't already done, if you don't already have it on your computer, when you log into OneDrive, when you're online and you hit sync, it's going to step and walk you right through copying all of your folders over there, right? And just basically two clicks. Right, you just hit sync and hit yes, and then it will copy everything over. And again, depending on how much stuff you have saved, it will take more or less time depending on how much you have saved there. Okay, so to share so if you have things, if it's your first time setting up OneDrive and you want to move your folders to the things that you had saved on your computer onto the cloud, okay, all you do is, best things to do is open up another window of File Explorer. Okay. All right. So, and what I'm going to do, and if you didn't notice before, there's a little thing called Snap. It's a tool in Windows. As I drag my cursor over to the corner of the screen, it pops in on half the screen. Okay. And then it allows you to pick what's the other one you want to open up here. Okay. So I open up this here where I have two versions of the same thing, my File Explorer. So I'm going to click on, right, I have my OneDrive here. Clicked on that. Here's all the files that are inside that OneDrive. Okay. And on this side, I can click on what I have, things I have on my desktop. Okay. So say I want to take all these files, select whatever files I want, and I want to move it to OneDrive, I'll say into the RJ folder. I can just drag them right over. Say I left click, grab them, drag it over, and it tells you move it into EC1 folder, into the sugar folder, RJ. And when I hold on, you see it actually opened up the folders that are inside of the RJ. So I can move it to the desktop, you know, whatever one. And again, it drags it and drops it into the appropriate folder. So I click on the RJ desktop, and these baseball JPEGs pictures are dragged right over. So again, you can move your files around by just dragging and dropping them in there. So that's how you can fill up your OneDrive with all your folders. Again, you could go into all your documents here, and you could even just Control A, selects everything. And if you wanted to, drag everything over in one shot right into the folder you wanted into OneDrive. Really quick and easy. And again, you don't even have to go online to OneDrive. Your OneDrive is now on your computer as well. So everything you do to those folders are going to happen in both places automatically. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to talk about an important thing around with sharing documents now. All right. A way to work much more effectively, whether you're sharing things with your coworkers or sharing things with maybe a customer or a vendor or a contractor you're working with, or somebody doing some work, you want to share some things with them that are going to go back and forth and be updated. Okay. So typically when we have a document, let me get okay. All right, just open up an Excel file. Move it over on the screen here. Okay, so I have an Excel file here. I want to share this because we're going to be updating this list here. Okay, so think about one thing could be a price list, right? So you work for your company, you have a price list that gets updated. Maybe every month the prices change, right? So typically now, if I send this document out to someone, right, I email it to them as attachment, they have the current pricing as of today, right? But what happens when it changes, right? You have to now send a new document out, right? Also, somebody's gotten the old document with all the old pricing, and they're going to want the old pricing if they decide in a month or two to get things, right? So instead of sending an attachment, now that these things are stored online, you can actually send a link to the document instead. So what I mean by that, so think about a website, right? A website is a link, right? You put in a website, a link, an address, and it takes you to that website. The same thing happens with documents. So this document has a website, basically, when it's an online document. So So actually, I'm opening up that document I opened up on my desktop. I want to show you how we do it on the web instead when I go to this here. Right, I clicked on the link, and if you notice here, this is a website up here. It's GlobeNet, SharePoint. SharePoint is OneDrive. It's the place where shared documents get stored. OneDrive is just your files, and SharePoint is the shared files. That's when you work in a company, or if you have or with a family, if you share documents, it would be shared in the area what they call SharePoint. But it's really the same place. They just call the shared files one thing, and the OneDrive is your drive. Just a way to distinguish the two pieces. So you see, this is actually a website. Okay, this is where my document sits. So this is how I actually find it. This is how your computer finds it. When it's in File Explorer and you click on it, it goes to this web address. That's what it opens up. Okay, so now when I make a change to this document, I put something in, right? We need to order 777 of them, and I click Save. It automatically updates it. So anybody that has the link to this document that you sent out, they're going to get the changes. So if you change your prices, the prices are changed. So the next time the customer opens up the document, they get all the changes. Okay? Or if we're working on a Word document, you're working on a proposal with another coworker, you can both make changes in the document because you can both access the same document actually at the same time even. Okay, so I'm going to share this document. So there's a button up at top to share. Okay, and when it opens up here to share, it gives you some choices, right? Anyone with the link can view it, right? So that means, like in the case of your pricing, you don't want the customer to be able to change the pricing, right? You want them to only see the pricing, so they can only view it. But if you wanted to share it maybe with somebody in your team, right, or a specific person, okay, I could allow them to edit it, right? Or I can allow everybody on my team, everybody in my company to be able to edit it, okay? So I'm going to make specific people and edit it. And send this over to Kyle. Please update. And I could add more people in. And I could copy the link and paste it in the email myself and put it out. Okay, but I'm just going to send this link, and this link is getting sent out to one of my colleagues. Okay, what I'm doing is just opening it up on the other screen, and I'll show you how it can be changed back on from the other side. Okay, so it's logging in. This document was sent over, and I'm opening it up on the other computer, and you're going to see the changes we can make right here simultaneously. Okay, so I have an email that came in, and I'm clicking on it, opening it up, a coworker. All right, so they're in the document now. And you know what? That was supposed to be 777. I'm gonna make a change. That should have been 77. So they made the change. And typically this, like I said, my connection is a little bit slow, but typically it works pretty much in real time. And you'll see the things pop up. I'm going to refresh the screen just to, well, actually it just popped in. You see KK just showed up here. It's Kyle Kratzke, right? It shows them that Kyle is in the document now, right? At the same time as us working on this document. So the real-time changes and stuff are happening right here as we speak. You see I'm actually moving the cursor down. You see the 777 just changed to 77, just working a little bit slower. You can see he's typing, little dots show up there. Just type in hi. So we're working real time on this document. Okay, and the whole reason we're able to do this is because it's a shared document. It's something that's stored in OneDrive or in the shared drive, what they call SharePoint. Just another name for basically the same thing. Like I said, OneDrive is for one person, shared is for the team or a group of people. Okay, so we're working here at the same time in the same document. So we don't have to send things back and forth, wait for somebody else to make a change and do something. This can all happen real time. Okay, if you had a contractor doing work on your, on a building for you, right? Or doing work at home and you'd like to know, well, hey, what did you get done today? If they fill in either a Word document or a spreadsheet as they're going on, real time, all the information will pop up, right away. Okay, so the key thing about sharing links and documents, links are live things. They're live things that you can work on together. Again, the owner of the document lets people know whether you're allowed to view it only or whether you're allowed to edit it, right? And you can create that setting in that based on what you're doing, what you want to do with it, who you're working with. Okay. Okay. And again, this actually the watch flow test is what I sent here. So flow test. And if I go to, I'm on my OneDrive now. You can see in the top corner, I'm in this flow solutions. This is the document I just shared. Okay. And as you see, as I move my mouse over here, it shows me who's viewed it, right? Who's done things with the document. 5 views. I can click on it, see who's accessed the document. The 3 dots here that I clicked on gives you all these different choices. Open it, preview it, share it, copy the link. Manage access shows you who did you give access to, right? So I have the access. I'm the owner, Robert, and I shared it with the link with people that could edit it. So this should say Kyle, right? So I shared it with Kyle, shows up there. And if I didn't want Kyle to work on it anymore, I can just click the X and he will be kicked out of the document. He won't be able to edit anymore. Okay. All right. So it gives you great control over documents and a much better, more effective way to share and work on things. So, all right. All right, so now I want to take a look at show you a couple of the new tools that are in there. It can be used for personal, but or for business. Certainly for business is huge value to helping to automate your processes, right? Do things work more effectively. So I'm going to show you a couple of tools that, particularly for businesses, how you can connect more effectively. So the home version of the Office 365 Home doesn't have some of these tools like bookings. You need a business version for it. But if you have the business version, bookings, let's see if I have the page open up already, so it'll should load a little quicker. Okay, so this is the bookings tool. Okay, so bookings allows you to create kind of services or appointments. Something, right? What are the things that you might do with your customers? Okay, I do training, so I have a classroom. 3 hours set up. You can put pricing in there, or you can have no pricing for certain things. Okay, meet for coffee, 30-minute meetings, the networking meetings. So I set up these different things. So they're time schedules that not only fit on your calendar, but they allow your customer or whoever you're sending this link to. Again, this is a link. It lets them connect and make an appointment with you, and I'll show you how that is done here. Okay, so these are all services that I set up, and I'll take a look at one of these to show you what it looks like. I set up here. So this has a link to the service. Okay, so I can share this link so someone can connect and make an appointment with me. I put in all my details, right? Um, okay, all right, share this page. Service name, Office 365 consultation, schedule an online meeting. Here's an offer available, okay, for meeting attendees. You can put in the time. So this is just a quick consultation, just a quick meeting to talk, 15 minutes. You can put buffer time. So you need time to transition after the meeting. So you might be doing an hour webinar, and before you do your next session, you might want 15 minutes, 15-minute break. So we'll automatically schedule you a 15-minute block so that you can continue work, so that you can get a break in between work. Maybe you have to prep for the next thing. You have to set things up. You got to get ready for it. So you can put in buffer time. Okay. Okay. Default price if you need it. Any notes, custom fields. You can add in questions to ask them aside from just booking the appointment. Okay. You can create questions and add them in here. Okay. So typically these are the things that show up in the email: customer, email, phone, customer name, address. You can require things if you want them. Do you want to require a phone number and email? Up to you. So all these fields. Also, sometimes I add in sometimes questions. Do you currently have Office 365? If it's something that's going out to new clients that might be needing things, I can add in these specific questions. Any specific areas you want to address. So I can have more or less questions in when they go to book an appointment with me. Okay. Send an email reminder. So a day before the meeting, it can automatically send her an email reminder out. And you can customize that message and put in exactly what you want into the message. Bring additional details, right? You could also put in a link here, maybe a link to a document that you want them to fill out, something else. Or maybe a form. We're going to look at forms in a couple of minutes. Maybe you want them to fill out a form with some other information as well. So you can add different things in here. You can also enable text messaging. So if they provided their cell number, they can do text messaging. Right now, text messaging is free. It's a service that they're previewing and they're trying it out. So again, you can automatically, when they book an appointment, it can automatically send them a reminder by text that, hey, you have an appointment, you have that appointment in 15 minutes. So you can create all these things. Show it on your page. Scheduling options. Do you want to use your default schedule? Right? Or do you want to create a custom schedule? So maybe these 15-minute meetings that I said, maybe I only want to do them on Thursdays and Fridays. So I can put in a different policy of schedule when I'm available for that type of appointment. I could add in staff, so I could have multiple people available for these appointments. And I can choose whether I want the customer to choose somebody, or it just comes to my general page and then I assign it to the right salesperson or the right customer service person or to the manager, whatever it might be. So again, here I can control when am I available for this kind of a meeting. Do I want it all the time? Or again, for my 15-minute meeting, I maybe only want to do it on certain days. Or for the full-blown classes that I do, 3-hour or 8-hour full-day classes, I might not want to do them on certain days. So I can just exit out and it'll drop that day off the schedule or adjust the times. And again, date, you can change dates. So if you're going to go on vacation, things like that. Assign staff. So the staff can be assigned. Right now, it's just me. I could assign Rick or take Rick off. And so this is it. Let's go back up to the top here and copy this. See, and show you what the booking page looks like. Okay, so here's the booking page. Shows you the 15-minute appointment. The info, if you had more details listed, the little info I gives you more info about it. And then somebody can go through and choose a date and time on the calendar. Okay. If I had blocked off that I'm only available, for a breakfast meeting, right, from between 7 and 10, all these other times would disappear, right? You tell it what to do and it looks at that. Now, if you book something else on your calendar, your regular Outlook calendar, it will know that and you won't be available. So it'll block off those times automatically and vice versa. If this gets booked onto your calendar, it's going to put it on your regular main calendar so that, again, you know what happens here. Okay, so again, this is a link that gets shared. Okay, and this link can be shared anywhere you want. So actually, while we're here, what I'm going to do is okay, just wanted to make sure I was still online because all right. So okay, so I just posted in the chat. I answered the question about can you protect a file in OneDrive? I'll answer that question in just a minute. But I posted in the answer to that actually this link. So after the meeting or at the end of the session, you can click on that link if you want to schedule an appointment, 15 minutes, no charge, to talk specifically about what you want to do or any of these things that we saw. Happy to share that time with you and talk about how what we can do to help you out with it. Or if you're looking to get Office 365, I'm a Office 365 partner, so we can get that set up for you or your family or your company, whatever you're looking to do. So that link you could click on and actually schedule a time that we could connect, one-on-one. So, all right. So a quick answer to, you can protect, let me read the exact question, sorry. Okay, can you protect your files that you're sharing? So that basically when you share it as a view only, you're protecting it right there. That's protecting it from anybody writing over the file. Right, when we showed the sharing box, it said, do you want to, people can view only, or there was a checkbox to enable sharing. So you can totally control that. Also within things like Excel and Word, there's actually ways of protecting even certain cells. There's some things, functionality built right within Excel if you wanted to protect just certain fields that you didn't want people to be able to change or do something to, or even to hide within a file. You need to share something, but you didn't want them to see some sensitive information. You can block just that specific information, even in Excel, from being viewed by anybody but you, or anybody who you authorize, okay? Or give a password. Multiple ways of doing it. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's the bookings tool. Right. I'm going to get quickly into the other two tools real quick. Okay. So I'm going to show you forms. Okay. So here are a bunch of forms that I've developed. Okay. To collect information. Okay. Example here. This is a check-in form for a networking group. Okay. So when people show up at the meeting, they can fill in the name, all the company information, email, phone number, etc. Is this your first meeting? Okay. So different ways to collect out this different information. There are ways right here to built in tools that you can actually see the responses right away here in the forms. Right, different answers. And depending on the type of question, it may show you a graph, right? Yes and no. It knows it's something that will display and work in a graph. That automatically happens. I didn't need to create and tell it to make a graph when it's a, kind of choice. These were choice questions, yes, yes or no. When it's a fill in the blank, of course, it's not going to put a chart in for email, right? It recognizes what you're asking for. So all these things come in. And now, once I create a form like this, I can actually use tools to do other things with it. So this powerful tool called Power Automate, okay? This can automate processes to happen automatically. So in this instance, I'll show you this flow real quickly. All right. So this is the SR, the meeting sign-in form. I'm going to show you what this tool looks like and what it does. Okay. So you're able to create these little rules to tell it. So you can say here, when a form is submitted, when a new response is submitted, okay, and it's to this form, right? I'm able to pick which form do I want. It knows all of your forms, so you don't have to do any programming and things like that to make these things happen. It knows where things are. You just got to tell it which thing you want. right? So get the form you want, get the information from the form, and now add it into Excel. I want to create an Excel file, and I tell it which Excel file, and once I tell it which file, it knows all the rows. So all the rows were email, first name, last name, etc. So I tell it which piece of information. And this information all shows up once I click in the box here. Here's all the information that came in on the form. So I can pick whatever information I want from the form and do that. Okay. At the same time, I could also get this information from somewhere else. I could tell this to look at Excel and get information out of some separate Excel file and do something with it. Or look into my mailing list, or look at my CRM system and get other information. So I can take information from multitude of sources and put them in into different areas, all automatically. So I can put in a delay. So in this, I only put 2 minutes to send out something just as a demo. But you might want to, if you're at a trade show, you might not want to send something till the next morning. So you can put in a delay, and now here's the condition. Okay. If this says, this question said, is it your first meeting? So if it's your first meeting, if it's no, then you do something. Then you send an email. And the email is pre-made, and it pulls out the person's first name. This gave a list. This tonight's attendee list, this is actually a link. So every time somebody fills out a form, it's filling out Excel. So everybody gets the up-to-date list of everybody who attended the event. So all these things happen automatically. And then this link, here's a link to this consultation. So you want a free consultation link that I put in the email. So that would go out to that bookings page that we just looked at before. So this message goes out automatically. As soon as people fill out the form, 2 minutes later, they get this email. And if I'm the first person filling out the form, when I click on tonight's attendee list, I'm going to be the only person on the list. But as each person fills it in, their name is going to get filled in on the list that you already have in your email. So it's pretty cool. It's going to just keep updating it because, again, we're using links. So it's a real live document. So people are going to see all these real live documents that happen. And again, I put on it, they're able to view it only. So they can't change the document for anybody, right? Everybody's going to get the document. Nobody can make any change to it. Only the changes that automatically happen, from the list. Okay. And then I had to know if it wasn't your first meeting, or if it was your first meeting, it added in also information about joining the association, right? So 2 different emails could come out, right? This one had upcoming events on it here. So based on if you answered yes or no, you're going to get 2 different emails, right? You could have somebody say, are you interested in, car insurance, life insurance, or health insurance? And it could be for an insurance company. And then 3 different messages could go out to the person with even 3 different links to meet with 3 different people within the company. The one who does life insurance, the one who is car insurance, health insurance. So you can really change dynamically and make different things happen, okay? And then you can add an action, and you can add in millions of other things to do, okay? I use Mailchimp for my mailing lists. So Mailchimp, so I can automatically put this information into my Mailchimp mailing list, which is a whole separate company's product. So there's hundreds of companies that have built other connections, so you can do so many more things and connect without any extra work, right? This can take as little as 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, depending on how complex your process is. But you can do these things once, and then you never have to do it again. So every meeting, all this stuff will happen automatically. People get an email, they get follow-ups, lists get created, they get up-to-date information, they get a bookings link, they get different emails based on who they are and what they asked for. So it's really powerful, and it's one example of the power of what you can do with things there. Okay, all right. All right, I get one more quick look at one more tool here. This is one of the more exciting ones, and again, you could spend hours just on this alone here. Just pull it over. Okay, so this is called Microsoft Teams. Okay, anybody who's done meetings, you may have had choice of people saying, hey, should we do a Teams meeting or do a Zoom meeting? Okay, they both have same capabilities. We're running an event, that people click on a link and they attend the event. Okay, but at the end of this event, you're going to click off and leave, and you're not connected to the Zoom, or you're not connected to anything going on with this meeting. With Teams, you can have a group where now your meetings and your things are all tied in together and connected into one place, okay? So that you can work after the meeting, or you can be connected to it. So it brings together, I'm going to click on one of my teams here quickly. So along the left of my different teams, so I'm in my office training team, general, and you'll see here, this is all chat. This is messages and documents have been shared and things like that have gone on. You can see actually I even did a Zoom meeting within here, even though Teams has its own meeting capability. You can actually use Zoom also, okay? Meetings here, meeting ended. It keeps track of all your meetings and everything that's going on within your teams. I'm gonna click over here. Here's a team where we created a meeting, and when I created the meeting, up at the top right, I'm not going to start a meeting because I'm already in the Zoom meeting. I can't run both. But see, it says meet right up there. I can click there and meet now, right? Or I can schedule a meeting and send it out to people, just like you send a regular meeting request out. But if I click meet now, it's going to open up right within my chat. And I can record it and save it right in the chat. So anybody who missed the meeting, they can go back to the team. They can go back, click in the team, and attend the meeting right here. Okay, and there the meeting will show up right here. It'll run right here. It also records the meeting. It will also transcribe the meeting. During meetings, you can actually have translation services going on. So your meeting in real time could be translated into Spanish, or you could have just English subtitles there, so that if you're on the train or you're in a loud area and you can't hear, you can see that the transcription is going on right here during the meeting. So I had turned it on for the test. So you can also go through to the meeting and actually search for a word in the meeting. So you had an hour-long meeting and you wanted to find out when they talked about finances. You can type in finances, and if that word shows up in the meeting, it will take you right to that spot in the meeting in half a second. So it's really powerful tool you can do with it. And just quickly look at the top here. So this is the posts, all the posts here. And you see down below, you can add GIFs and stickers and do all different things, add in forms, and there's all kinds of tools you can add in. And up at the top, I have a files link. So if I share a file, like if you shared a picture in your text messaging, okay, instead of having to scroll through all your text to try to find that message or that document, it will automatically be saved into this files tab. So I don't have to go look for it. It's going to be right there automatically. And I can also add in other things. I can add in a meetings notes page so we can keep notes on our ongoing meetings, right? I can add links to a website. Or I can add an Excel file that we always work on. So I can put a link to it right there. But this little plus sign, I can customize it almost like a website. Right at the top of your website, you have all different tools. So there's all these different applications, stuff like that, that you can share and you can use within Teams. And again, it brings together text messaging here. Well, if you take my word for it, there's Excel, PowerPoint, and then hundreds of other third-party companies that you can see the app for. Okay, and you also have one-on-one chat outside of your team, your calendar, all your files. Okay, you'll also see OneDrive is here, your OneDrive. And also here's my recent documents. This is just in Teams. These are all my recent documents. So I can get to everything very quickly and easily. Into my OneDrive also is accessible from here. So I don't have to go to OneDrive to find it, right? All my files are here. They also have a call feature for businesses. You can actually have your voice over IP phone calling system all done right through Office and be all totally connected and make your calls directly from here. And I can make, if Scott was here, see if he pops up, but I can make a call to him and he can pick up the call right away if it's going to his voicemail. He's offline. So anyway, so that's just a real quick peek. I simply just went over a couple minutes, so very sorry about that. But like I said, the link I added into the chat, into the question and answer there. you can click on that and be happy to spend a few minutes directly with you, answering any questions you have or helping you with whatever you need.